Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast, folks, presented by FanDuel. Jimmy, what episode is it?
169.
69, dude. That's a Workaholics reference. Folks, welcome to the, second biggest episode of all time, because the first biggest episode would have been episode 69. But this is this is bigger, because it's 169. And I guess, we're starting off hot here. We do have double
with a menage a trois.
We do. But I wouldn't get too comfortable, because that's a good plug, folks. This weekend, before we dive into it, this weekend, Saturday for Elimination Chamber, Jimmy and I will be right here on stream, live, in person, to defend, or for you to defend, your SCW Predictions Championship. And fun little spin is we will not only be competing against ourselves. Similar to last time, we are still going to compete with the chat. So it's going to be a three-way, a triple threat for the SCW Predictions Championship. So you, as long as you're in the chat, do have an opportunity to win that predictions title. But I'm also coming for it. But Jimmy, how are you feeling going into the chamber? This is obviously our predictions episode. We'll kind of see where we're at. But talk to me.
I had to give the chat a rematch after they won the title at the Royal Rumble,
True.
But of course they came up short and they had the shortest reign of all time. I won the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and here I sit, your double champion, quiz championship, predictions championship. It's a glorious thing. Oh, not to mention, folks.
Oh, he has the Jim Continental.
People have been asking about it.
I've seen zero comments about the Jim Continental Championship.
The Jim Continental Championship too. Still proud. Jimmy Wang Yang couldn't lace my boots. But yeah, I got the gold disease right now.
Well, I'll take care of that for you. I'll be your medication come Saturday. But yeah, this is our Elimination Chamber predictions episode. We have a lot to go over. We're also going to kind of talk a little bit about, Raw was tough, but there's some other stuff to talk about as well, as there's only 4 matches. We got the 4-match special for Elimination Chamber. Obviously, we're recording this before SmackDown. Wow, I've been all off on the days. The snowstorm has thrown me off, dude. Today's Thursday. It's coming out day of, but I'd imagine nothing gets, do you think anything gets booked on SmackDown? I doubt it.
Maybe. I could see, because they wouldn't give us Oba Femi versus Rusev on Raw for some reason, because everything was about AJ Styles, which I don't understand, just because AJ Styles was having a ceremony that the rest of Raw had to stink. But I digress. Maybe Oba versus Rusev could be added. I don't know. I would like a 5th match, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, even Kiana James is in the chamber, so she doesn't have Julie doesn't have her as a backup. You could you still do a US. I don't know, but folks, we're gonna get right into it. But before we do, please make sure you're leaving your likes, subscribe, follow us on everything, turn on the bell for notifications, and check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling, where you get a bonus weekly pod that we record right after this. We take a bunch of your questions and chit chat. I got a lot of Olympic questions. Olympics it's kind of old news at this point, but Olympics just happened. I'm very curious to talk about that, but I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but without further ado, I guess we can get right into the Elimination Chamber predictions. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start, big matches? I'll let you decide for big episode 69 where we start.
169, I think we got to start with Cody Rhodes and the Men's Elimination Chamber.
I'm down for that. Men's Elimination Chamber, folks, we have all the qualifiers in. The match will be Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams versus Jey Uso. I guess that's where we can start. Honestly, kind of dips into Raw a little bit, where we had the unfortunate injury of Bronson Reed, and then instantly there was reports coming out of the injury was legit and serious, and then in the following days, I think he, at this point, may have already undergone surgery or is scheduled to go undergo surgery. Regardless, getting surgery, so that's tough. Will be out indefinitely, and then reports came out that he was going to be the winner of that match. And then they made a call on the fly, which shout out to the referee and all participants, made a call on the fly. But then you had Jey Uso win that match. And the look on Jey Uso's face, especially now knowing what was supposed to happen, is very interesting. He won that. But to me, it screamed the face of someone who just got told they got to work on Saturday.
He has to cancel reservations with Jada Parker for like 8 different restaurants. And he had plans, and like he looked pretty devastated. Maybe probably bummed for his coworker, maybe friend.
The second he got up from the pin, he was kind of looking around to find Bronson Reed. It seemed like 100%.
It's very chaotic to have a triple threat match, a legitimate injury, a torn bicep, and then on the fly you have to change the result because then I'm sure scrambling backstage. I hope the cameras are rolling for WWE Unreal because then like Triple H has to then relay the message, or whoever has to relay the message to the referee. And I thought it was kind of a shame that it really was super obvious what was going on because they were Jay and El Grande were both on the outside, and like, the referee had to come up to both of them. And like I'm not throwing shade or anything, but like it's a real life scenario where like you have to make sure Jay isn't busy on Saturday or El Grande isn't busy. What do you do for the chamber? And like that's the thing too. Bronson Reed's presence I feel like really was needed because you can say Trick Williams is a heel, but he's kind of a tweener. He's really over. So like, the chamber really needed a heel, and we don't got one. We have Jey Uso instead.
And I think we would have gotten a splash off the pod. I mean, like Jey Uso's still Jey Uso, and WWE still like pushes him and like whatever. So I'm actually given how many faces are in it, I wouldn't have been that surprised. But like even like I'm not totally shocked that like Jey Uso wouldn't have been the choice either way to be in the chamber. You know what I mean? He's a big name and he's very over. And I mean, my whole thing, he's gonna run it back in the chamber. Were they not gonna do that already? I mean, apparently it would have been a big win for Bronson Reed.
But how cursed is the division, man? Like this tough. Is like unbelievable.
So tough. Obviously starting with Seth, then you got Braun Breaker. It's very, very unfortunate now with Bronson Reed, and then now the stable is just Paul Heyman leading Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Let's see it, Paul Heyman. You say you're the greatest manager of all time. Let's see it, pal.
I think it's going to take a lot more than just being a great manager. I don't know. But so that's why Jey Uso is in it. So some other names before we kind of give our official picks. Let's kind of run down everyone, I guess. I don't really know how to go about this, but Randy Orton, how do you feel about his likelihood, potential for winning? Do you think potential is there? Yeah, or you could even start. You know what? Give me your picks. I'm just kind of thinking, for my sake of editing too. Give me your pick, and we'll kind of run down everyone their likelihood. So, who is your official pick? Because again, you are defending that predictions championship, and this is the most important thing going in. So, who's your pick? Who you riding with?
My official pick is QB1 Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the groans from the fans about this is predictable, whatever. I kind of get it, I do, but QB1 Cody Rhodes, I'm jacked up. I'm excited for Cody Rhodes to come in there and win. I do hope they do something excited, and you mentioned Randy Orton, and I think he's probably second most likely to win, and I think he's definitely far behind Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But I think there is a scenario where Randy Orton could win. To me, though, I would, and again, I don't mean to kind of throw my fantasy booking out there, but Cody wins, and for the Elimination Chamber last year, you had a lot of hype coming into it, and of course, it was capped off by one of the greatest moments of all time, John Cena turning heel. You need something to really hook me in to WrestleMania season this year, and Cody Rhodes win the Chamber kind of is vanilla. So what can you do? Cody Rhodes wins it, and then that's when we get the Randy Orton heel turn. We get a punt to Cody's head, and Cody might be questionable for WrestleMania. Then that will create intrigue, and I hope we get something along the lines of that. Maybe you do that same thing with Jacob Fatu, because I know there's been rumors about Jacob Fatu being involved. He's not in the Chamber. People are clamoring for like a 6-man, multi-man WWE Championship match. For
Sami Zayn still kind of floating around a little bit.
And he had a very good segment on SmackDown with Cody where they kind of got face to face and had a real like coming to almost blows with like their friendship and the ego and like the surrounding the title. And then even so, afterwards they kind of have a face-to-face skirmish, whatever. Trick Williams gets in his face, kind of taunts him, and then Sammy runs back to go apologize to Cody. Crowd boos him big time. Yeah. That was pretty funny. But I'm going Cody Rhodes. John, what's your prediction for the Chamber?
Yeah, you look at the crop of people, and it's a great crop of people. You have Javon, you got Trick, you have the veteran Orton. It's to me, it would be shocking if in 2026, especially leading into WrestleMania 42, that is being reported as pretty low ticket sales, there's pretty low hype levels in general for the event. I'd be shocked you don't have Cody Rhodes, like you said, QB1 in a world championship match. I don't know. I mean, you already have the night 2 main event. Maybe. I think the women deserve the night 1 main event, but I could see Cody. I mean, I don't know. I know Cody and Drew. I think I've said it before. Of like, oh, Cody and Drew have faced each other a bunch of times, and like it was stat corrected. Like I think they've only faced each other within this story like what 4 times or whatever. But like it feels like it's dragged on, and it has dragged on for like I don't know. It feels like 6 months at least, I would say. So I don't know. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre doesn't move me. I do like the idea of adding Jacob and or Sammy into it. And I'm with you. You know, I'm also always the one to be like Cody heel turn or Randy heel turn or something. At this point, to be honest with you, I'm pretty out the window with that. Unless something happens in the chamber, maybe to kind of like, you know, jump on your fancy book in a little bit is like maybe Randy and Cody take each other out and then you have a surprise. I mean, personally, Trick Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can lead to Randy Cody, and you have like a month and a half to build it, which isn't a ton of time, but like it's enough. You get Cody Randy, and you have like a surprise young guy like in a Trick Williams to really, you know, put the rocket on his back. Again, point being why I have Cody is we are on call it a new era, as we like to do, of new stars. And I you know, might even say we are always like, you gotta push the new guys. WWE doesn't have stars. That's kind of been my problem for a long time. It seems like WWE now is developing new stars. You have Oba, you got Javon, you have Trick. You're still even establishing, you know, more so a Tiffany Stratton who is still young, Rhea Ripley and Io. I would still
the
consider
women's division
part
has
of
been
this
the backbone,
100%.
Yeah.
And I would still consider those names like still part of this new generation. But yeah, you're right, because the bigger point is establishing the men's division with these new stars. So WWE is starting to do that very clearly, but I just don't see them pulling the trigger or deviating from like the easy. What's at least gonna maybe guarantee, or they think's gonna guarantee butts and seats, I guess. So if I didn't obviously say it, I do have Cody Rhodes going. But to get to talk about everyone else,
it's
like
a huge honor for Javon Evans, who's younger than the chamber itself.
Crazy. I like a lot of these other picks are very fun, and I, you know, not just come off and just like I don't want the popular thing to happen, but like if you look at these other names, we can go one by one. Randy Orton win the chamber. Walk me down a little bit where you can go with that, right?
Oh, I mean, I think a lot of Randy winning would still involve Cody, which, like,
sure.
To me, right now, the mission statement for Cody as, you know, QB1 and the top babyface in the company is to maintain that and avoid babyface fatigue, which Cody's even alluded to. Some of the crowds are kind of chanting Cody sucks a little bit. So, and that was kind of the purpose and reason for me why he dropped the title to Drew in the first place, was to kind of avoid that fatigue. And it isn't a terrible idea for Cody not to be going for the title at Mania if the mission statement really is to keep him as a unified babyface. But to me, if you're going to have him win, you need to if you're going to either have him win or still be in the title picture at Mania, you need to have juice towards it. So Randy Orton win would have juice towards it.
And you know what? Even just like on a real just like surface level to it, I like about Randy is like, you know, and maybe it sounds a little hypocritical or whatever about, you know, we just talked about young stars, whatever. But I'm also in the camp of like, you still have a Randy Orton where like, if you still have a Randy Orton who can go and wants to go, I would, because we're losing our stars. John Cena just retired. We're going to talk a lot about AJ Styles a little later. You know, guys like a Ray might be coming down with whose last, I don't know, within 10, he's going to retire 10 years from now, but you know. But point being is if you still have Randy, why not fucking use him? And he's a main event guy and a guy that's going to sell tickets. I even love just basis of Randy Orton chasing number 15.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I think that's cool. And Randy versus Drew isn't like the biggest match in the world, but I don't know. At this point, I don't think Cody Drew is either. But I don't know. I like it. We have LA Knight winning, which, you know, to one side of the table being the big, you know, token LA Knight fandom here, but like it'd be different. It'd be fun and exciting. I don't think he has a good. It's to me, it's so obviously Cody. It's crazy, but I don't know. Again, LA Knight. What is that? You know, LA Knight versus Drew. Again, it's not the biggest like marquee match, but like it's something, I guess. I don't know.
I can't see it in my head for Mania. As much as I love LA Knight and as much it'd be a huge moment for him, and even the build towards the chamber where like I feel like he doesn't really have much momentum heading into the chamber outside of the chamber qualifying win, and then like his. I mean, of course, his storyline with the Vision has been turned into flames because of injuries.
Yeah.
So I don't see, and then of course it would require him to switch brands. It would seem very random. I don't see that happening, unfortunately.
And then you go to like a Javon Evans, where again, not talking circles, but like would be such a cool moment. So like this isn't the main event. Again, I'll bend the knee and say it'd be a main, or like, you know, if it does close out night one, it is a main event, which again, I think the women should get it. But specifically, I think Liv and Stephanie should get it for sure. But Javon, you have an opportunity. You have a young, hot guy. You haven't had someone like a Javon or a Trick in a sense they've organically been super hot with the crowd. And I feel like WWE hasn't really had that. You've had it in Braun Breaker for sure. But like, I don't know. And maybe like you can do this because it's not the biggest title in the company anymore. Just because they decided that it's not the biggest title overnight, where it was the biggest title for about 4 or 5 years, and then Drew got it, and it's, you know, significantly below Punk's title, whatever. But maybe you can't, like, this is going to be somewhere in the middle of night one. So you can maybe have a Javon Evans or a Trick Williams, and I don't think that's crazy. Like, I don't know.
I don't think it's even crazy for them to, you know, again, it'd be such an honor for them in the chamber and then somehow miraculously win it unpredictably. And then you have a one-on-one match against Drew McIntyre at Mania. You don't even have to win that match. I think there's a story because Drew still kind of just won the title, and there's even discussion of like, you know, you don't want to put him in a position where he looks like a weak champion, even though he has been since he's won the title. But I could see him if he were to face someone that wasn't Cody or Randy at Mania, maybe getting a title defense at Mania, which is not totally crazy, but still an honor for if a young star were to face him.
God, imagine too, like. Imagine the pop and the hype and the news headlines if Javon Evans or Trick Williams walk out of Mania with the WWE Championship. I love it. I really do.
And I hate to not try to make Trick Williams just seem like just an entrance. But like even the viral moment sensation of like Trick Williams versus Drew McIntyre, which feels kind of like box office. And I've compared Trick Williams to a young Rock for a while, but just hearing the overwhelming crowd of that Vegas crowd, whoop that Trick for that viral moment of like, oh my God, this guy, this baddie Drew McIntyre who we all hate and we want the title off him, versus Trick Williams, like, monumental. But
he is to get, you know, like to move on from Javon, like, you know, like you're saying, to go to specifically Trick more. We would like to take a break in the episode, tell you about our sponsor today, FanDuel. Have you ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals? Well, now's your chance, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll be entered for a shot to win a trip to the NBA Finals for two. Jimmy, me and you could go. Woo! Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we could probably, I don't know. NBA futures let you lock in your pick for who you think will go all the way, whether it's a team to win the championship or a conference title. Visit FanDuel.com/Believe to get started. That's BLEAV. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 entry. For profit boost token, opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Thank you to FanDuel for sponsoring today's episode. Now back to the show. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point, but like I can't remember the last time we've seen someone who is so reminiscent of larger than life character or wrestler that's so reminiscent of like the 80s and 90s. He has it. There was a clip, I'm sure you saw it, I was going around on Twitter. He was on some like talk show, like
First Take, I believe.
No, not even. It was like Good Morning America, or like the Today Show or something. And it was just like two women, you know, not anchors, but whatever. And he comes on set with his big ass white fur coat, no shirt under, and it's like a morning show. no shirt under, white coat, sunglasses, and he's sitting in the chair, and he's just like,
natural.
I'm Trick Williams, baby. Da-da-da-da. And it's amazing. And like the two women are just like, oh my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude. And I think like it's an opportunity to really just like put trust in these new guys and let them run with the ball. And like for sure, you can say like a Javon or a Trick or whatever, aren't ready or whatever. First of all, yes, they are. But it's like, here's how you get them ready. You give them an accolade. You give them a massive moment. Like, they're not going to become bigger stars. You just keep having them losing to Austin Theory every week or whatever, That's not a specific example, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. I do think, just keep on talking in circles, I do think we're just going to default to Cody, which I'm with you. I am a Cody fan still, and I don't have the Cody fatigue, but I'm starting to see it. And it's just not as exciting to me. I don't know. Kind of where I'm at with it.
I feel this. I share the same sentiment, but I do acknowledge though they need to spice that rivalry up between Drew and Cody, because them alone for Mania to me does not do it. So whether it's a Jacob, whether it's a Randy, whether it's a big time injury angle for Cody where we kind of doubt what's going to happen at
You're
Mania.
avoiding that Sammy name. I see Sammy versus Trick, if I'm being honest, at Mania. That's probably what it is, right?
I love that too.
I like it, yeah.
And for me too, when Trick confronted Sammy on SmackDown, it really put in perspective for me of like, Trick Williams is the antithesis of Sami Zayn. He is everything Sami Zayn is not. He is young, new, flashy, overconfident, kind of like just almost the exact opposite of Sami Zayn in many ways. And I think that's a very compelling rivalry. I think it'd be a hell of a match. I will say, I think it makes sense to kind of just mention this during this portion of the podcast. My match of the week was Mello versus Trick versus Damian Priest, that qualifying match on SmackDown. Slapped. I thought it was a really good match with, obviously, in my opinion, the right winner. And I loved portions with Trick and Mello, with the history there, too. I think there's a big-time main roster feud in the future for those two.
And then just to we'll move on in a second, but like the Jey Uso of it, Jey Uso wasn't even supposed to be in this match.
Yeah.
Not going to win. He's going to yeet in the pod or whatever. And,
I thought it should have been El Grande a little bit. If you're going to put a fly in a nice, kind of reminiscing to when he beat Rey Fenix at WrestleMania. Remember that? And
I do remember that.
It was supposed to be Rey, and an injury.
Forgot about it.
Injury caused him to kind of maybe possibly win that match instead. Same thing here. Why not El Grande in the chamber?
Chad Gable's so washed. I've never seen anyone. I'm so serious. I've never seen anyone more.
You didn't
more
see him
washed.
He suplexed Bronson Reed, man.
He can be the best wrestler in the world.
He's not interesting.
He's so washed. But all right, what do you want to do? Let's sandwich the chambers, maybe. Yeah. Let's go to Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the women's IC title. It's a couple things here. Or sorry, I'm taking my note. Do you want to kind of take it? Start us off here.
Of course. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch. I'm gonna go with the man Becky Lynch in this one. To me, I would be very upset, just as a fan of Graps, seeing someone that hasn't wrestled a singles match in like 20 years beat, for me, probably a top 5 women's wrestler of all time. Kind of in her prime. I will say I'm also somewhat sharing the fatigue I've been seeing of like the Becky character, but I think that's more so a bit. She should just be kind of in a mode of like changing it up a little bit. I think is not a crazy thing to say, but I think she gets a retain here. I think she beats AJ Lee, and we get a rematch at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I go back and forth. I don't have my pick in mind yet. I gotta talk it out a little bit. But I think I've kind of fancy booked this a little bit in the prior weeks where they're in Chicago. Big is AJ Lee also from Chicago, or is it because she's married to Punk?
It's her husband's hometown. She's from New Jersey.
Okay. Because the way we've been treating AJ Lee, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the past weeks we've been treating her like she's from Chicago.
Her husband's from Chicago.
Like the general we, even like not on commentary specifically, but the vibe around this match has been like AJ Lee winning in Chicago.
I guess,
don't know if I'm off on that, but it's what it felt like to me.
I suppose it's as heavily assumed she's going to be super over in Chicago just because of her husband, which I think it's not crazy.
My guess is. I mean, I assume, not that it matters, and this is getting real parasocial, but like I would assume Punk lives in Chicago, if not at least has a house there.
Yeah,
you know, and then like
he gets muffins from Mindy's Bakery.
Oh, okay. Huh. Oh yeah, right. The muffins. So. If they're residents of, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But anyway,
hometown advantage in some ways.
Hometown adjacent is what it is. Yes. But either way, AJ Lee winning in Chicago is a big deal. She has not won that title yet. I think really what I'm going back and forth on is, because I agree with you that regardless, this is the Mania match. There's going to be some sort of rematch, I hope, with a stipulation at Mania. And it's either, I guess, what you're saying, Becky retains here, we get a rematch, and then at WrestleMania is the big AJ Lee wins the IC title, she's back, and like blah, blah. Or we have AJ Lee win it at the Elimination Chamber. That sends Becky to a spiral. Becky rematch clause for Mania, you still get the rematch, whatever. I think either way, the roads are very similar. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm just going back and forth on, are they going to save the big IC title win for AJ at Mania?
True.
Or do it at the Chamber? Because spoilers, I don't see the World Heavyweight Championship changing hands. So maybe this is the big exciting moment. I don't know.
You do like to keep the chase longer than the dream itself, but that crowd will be hot for her. So there is that chance of that happening too, for sure. I'll tell you what, man, if AJ Lee were to win this, I really would hope they would kind of spice up, definitely a rematch at WrestleMania, but maybe add Maxine and Natty to that scene too, which we can maybe...
Maxine's still unconscious on the floor.
Dude, that was a tough scene.
Crazy.
How do you not... Okay.
That was bonkers.
I don't mean to dive into
that.
Just
Please.
very quickly of like, you tweeted out too, and then right after the Bronson Reed thing happening, how do you not maybe just do a different angle? I mean, that was my response to you when we talked about that online, but... man, how about just having a match or maybe putting Natty over that way, or even put over her submission hold? How about put her in the sharpshooter? Maxine grabs the rope and then Natty just won't let go and do the disqualification like that,
or even have her pass out to the pain of the sharpshooter or something. Yeah.
Put that over, because what we end up getting was that crowd was dead the whole night.
That was weird.
And the way Maxine unfortunately kind of sold the ring post spot, which like we kind of see that at least twice a show anyway. So the fact that like that really completely knocked her unconscious, which like, and then the way it happened, I thought wasn't the smoothest, really kind of almost puts the Natty angle dead in the water, which I think super annoying.
Yeah.
I just have to get that off my chest.
No, I'm glad you mentioned it, because I think it's, what did we just spend the last, I don't know, 2 months or whatever of building up Maxine? And the buildup of Maxine has been great. Her winning the IC title was like awesome. I guess that's even past 2 months. And you had this like, I think there's still other things you fumbled. I don't think she should have lost it after like a week or whatever, but like, whatever. If you lead to the mentor-mentee thing, and then you just have like, after all this buildup and all her training, and she's supposed to be really improving, and this like underdog the crowd loves, and then you have like the match, quote unquote, the match with Natty, and then she just gets like kicked, and then just like, yeah, you're right, it happens 8 times every single match where someone gets thrown into the ring post and just knocked out unconscious. And again, and this is more complicated of just like, but I agree in terms of like writing and story, where you just had a legit injury on the show that derailed that match, and then you have now you're going to do this like knockout angle, and I don't know, it sucked. My biggest thing is like, you built up Maxine for absolutely nothing, and now you're not even helping Natty, who I've been a big fan of this Natty Neidhart character. You know what I mean? And people are even starting to turn on that.
And the thing is, she debuts a character, she loses the qualifying match. Sure, I mean she didn't get pinned, so there's credit there. But again, you couldn't have her win that match. Okay, that sucks for a new character. And then you do this the following week, and it's like
crazy.
God damn it, dude!
Absolutely nuts.
So I wanted to shout them out. Hopefully, they can get re-involved with the IC title scene. I think that could help. But
and it's not even like it made Natty. It's like, it's to just reiterate what you were saying. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even make Natty look like a badass.
No,
because she just like, that's a regular kick that just led to Maxine looking like she doesn't know what she's doing out there to get no ring awareness, gets knocked out by the post. And again, yeah, if they had Natty fucking just like laying in that sharpshooter, yeah, 100%. But okay, to the Becky and AJ. So my question to you is, if Becky Lynch wins, how do you get to the rematch? And sure, I guess, A answer is like, it's wrestling, you can just do it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like story or logic, how do you kind of get back to like, does something happen in the match? Kind of what you're thinking.
Well, hopefully, maybe we do maybe a scenario where we have wrestling matches on Raw. Maybe AJ Lee can earn a rematch on Raw. Maybe through a tournament. Maybe with involving Maxine, Natty, that the IC title scene. I don't necessarily have more cringe promos where she baits Becky into maybe a retirement match. I mean, that's kind of cliche at this point, but I just think maybe in terms of wrestling, we just do it.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to end up being.
Most of the reason why I'm kind of doing it is I'm kind of picking Becky with my heart. It's like, I don't want Becky to lose to a part-timer who hasn't had a singles match in 20 years. So, I mean, that's just me.
I think my official pick is going to be AJ Lee.
Okay.
Because I think in my head, you can easier get the rematch or like you're saying, a fatal four-way. If you have AJ Lee win here.
Yeah.
Because if AJ loses here, and to your point, though, of Becky winning, Becky's a heel. You can 1,000,000%. It would suck because it's a pay-per-view, but Becky could do some dumb shit, some sort of disqualification or something where she retains, and then that leads to like, hey, Becky, like I can already see it now. It's gonna suck, but Becky gets disqualified, whether she it's a AJ Lee accidental disqualification or Becky disqualifies herself, whatever. Title retains, Becky keeps it. Following night on Raw, Becky's like, I still got it, I won. AJ, no, you cheated. No, you got disqualified. Doesn't count. Boom, rematch at Mania.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
AJ's husband's a huge Bret Hart mark. Do a Chicago screw job, and Becky has in the disarmer, and then it's like somehow the bell rings, and Jessica Carr re-involved Jessica Carr into Becky Lynch storyline too. What happened to that?
That's a good idea.
What happened to that? Whoa, where's Jessica Carr been? I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, do something fun. I don't know.
So I'm gonna go AJ Lee on the basis of I see it as an easier and more logical way to get the rematch at Mania. Of AJ Lee wins here, Becky freaks out. Becky, rematch clause, or you have 2 weeks of Becky going like crazy, and then boom, Becky, I'll face you in a strap match.
Yeah,
or
something
not
crazy.
Gonna be a strap match, but I hope. I mean, that's what they need to do. Something it has to be either like, I don't know, a last woman standing. I think is solid.
Street fight,
something to spice up Mania. I don't know. That's where I'm going. Okay, all right. So we are going in this. We were kind of like, ooh, I don't know if we're deviating, but we're deviating a little bit. Okay, let's go to Punk and Balor before we close out with the Women's Chamber. We got CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Who do you got and why?
Well, he said it on Raw, man. He's the best in the world. We've already been promoting the WrestleMania main event as Punk versus Roman Reigns. So Finn Balor doesn't have a chance in hell, which I will now also add to the legacy of the milk bet, which I'm sure many of you guys don't remember. But last time, I think during Evolution, I said if Nikki Bella won that battle royal, I'll dump a gallon of milk on my head. She didn't. So I'll go number 2. If Finn Balor wins the world title at Chamber, I will dump a gallon of milk on my head because I don't see it happening.
Heard it here first. And it'll happen in my living room. Yeah, I like... Again, if we can get real fantasy booky of it, I could even keep on, which I don't mean to be, but I feel like I've really just like been like this is the popular obvious thing. I want the other thing. I want the thing that's not going to happen because it's not going to happen. I don't mean to come off like that, but like...
God forbid you want something interesting and
new
and
I think
different.
I'm just bored, you know what I mean? And I would love Finn Balor. Finn Balor taking this damn title from CM Punk in Chicago. And then, like, sure, does like is the triple threat a little confusing or a little weird of like Finn, Punk, and Roman? Roman's not going to be around to build the match anyway. We already saw CM Punk trying to drag this to fucking, you know what I mean?
I'll say this. I thought Raw was one of the worst Raws since I've joined the channel. I've watched. And that CM Punk promo, He comes out there and he starts off by saying, I don't want to take up much of your time. This is AJ's night. Why does AJ's style segment at 10:30 at night have to affect everything on the show? I'm telling you, everything on the show was kind of cut short because, hey, this is AJ's night. He comes in and Punk.
What was it? What was backstage where Pierce was like, he broke up an argument or a fight or something like that? And they were like,
Rusev.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, you're right. It was Oba and Rusev. And it was like, hey, not on AJ's night.
and Gunther and Dragon Lee were fighting. Like, and he said, guys, not on AJ's night.
AJ Styles would love those matches.
Yeah. If this night was supposed to be dedicated for AJ Styles, why did we get 3 effing matches? The best match was overshadowed by a damn rapper again. Almost like they didn't learn from the last time they did the rapper thing. Offset was on. I mean, that was a fine addition, I guess.
I did kind of like him on there.
Yeah,
he's
all
cool.
right. But like the fact that he kind of played into the finish of the match against a dream match of Kofi and Javon, I don't know. Call me crazy. I just like wrestling matches sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't mean to get fired up.
No, hey, what we're here for.
But yeah, that Punk promo, the crowd was absolutely dead. And you could tell in his face and in the way the promo went, he knew the crowd was dead. And he was getting frustrated with the fact that Roman Reigns ain't around. And then he has to kind of ping pong back to his upcoming match with Finn Balor. And keep in mind Roman Reigns. And he starts naming like past legends. He even named his arch rival Triple H in terms of trying to get a pop from the crowd,
yeah,
which I'm like,
noticed that one.
God damn, Punk, this was a rough one. To me that it was a rough showing from CM Punk. And my thing too is like, yes, he has points of saying like, oh, at least I show up every week. But the thing is, that doesn't work when the person that isn't showing up is a bigger star than you, and people want to see him instead of you. And the thing is, you're showing up, but you're also not wrestling, at least on this show. I digress. And the thing is, too, like for me, coming into this world title match, there was a very lack of build for this world title match on Raw.
For sure.
They had the Punk promo just kind of saying, oh, what if? I don't know, man.
And what sucks is how good the promo was when they were face to face.
Yeah.
And Punk really laying up the alley-oop for Roman to fucking spike it down of just like, no more funny business. Like, I'm the box office. I'm the reason you're back. And now, I was the guy they asked. And da-da-da.
And last night he goes like, oh, Roman Reigns will be here next week, and how about I slap him in his face next week? I thought you didn't hate him because remember Punk's like, oh, I don't hate Roman Reigns, but now when he shows up next week, you're gonna slap him in the face. I'll wait to crap on that until we get more Roman Reigns, but I am getting very annoyed with the lack of Roman Reigns, and I get it. It's like we're building the chamber of Punk versus Balor, but even that, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it seems like a pretty cut and dry CM Punk win in Chicago, but I can't, there's something in me that I think Finn can do it. You're building up Finn for a reason. Finn has been in these championship matches for a reason. Does he come out? He won't. Does he come out as Demon in Chicago? Well, Probably not,
I'll tell
right?
you what, we on Stache Club we're kind of like Sherlock and Holmes. We noticed the video game promos. He was the Demon Finn. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't Demon Finn. It was Kane.
Yeah, so 90s Kane.
And then I think on this past Raw, the video game thing was, and here's the thing, Finn Balor will be in a title match at WrestleMania, but it'll be for the Intercontinental title against Dom Mysterio.
Yeah, that's true.
Who kind of, I think the backstage promo on Raw, they kind of, the lasting shot of that promo was, Dom and him having words, and then the word disappointing was on the video game for the match rating, and Dom is kind of looking sad. Yeah. So I think that Dom is probably going to cost him at Chamber. But tell you what if Dom tries to cost him at Chamber and he wins anyway? Oh, come on. I hate the fantasy book and be like, get my hopes up for something crazy. Yeah. But I agree with you, John. Like, a Finn Balor world title win in Chicago, if he were to go demon style or not, would be insane television.
Because then if you just have Punk win, I already know, and this isn't new, but this is just you already have the Mania match booked, so this is just stepping stone, a match to have. This is definitely going to be a thing that doesn't shake any waters or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be a shake up, but. Yeah,
rebook a rematch on Raw and have Punk win the title back on Raw. Let's have some wrestling matches. Give Finn Balor a world title, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm officially going Punk. It seems like pretty cut and dry. Oh, so that's what I was going to say. The answer is you go down to the IC and because I think we're going to talk about some Judgment Day stuff in the women's chamber, but you go to you just have him step down to the IC and he's competed for the world title twice within the past month or two or whatever. And I don't know, it just feels like an unnecessary step down. Where it's if you have him in the world title, might as well keep him in the world title picture. I don't know, but my gut goes Punk in an effort to win that SCW Predictions Championship. my gut goes Punk. I mean, maybe I should pick Finn because that makes us different. But I'm going Punk. Like day of, we talked about off pod. Depending on how this goes, we'll figure out if we want to do confidence points. Obviously, we still want to get the chat involved. So, like the chat is going to... So, how... I don't know if I explained it at the beginning, but how the chat is going to compete is we're going to do polls for each match. And whatever's the winner of the poll is the chat's pick. So, like, you know, there could be a pick that you don't agree with, but like the rest of the chat swayed it. But okay, we can go to the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We have participants as follows. Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. Who do you got and why?
I have me having a banger of a time watching this match. This chamber match is going to be fantastic. I feel, in my opinion, a surprising pick. She just qualified on Monday Night Raw.
I know exactly where you're going.
I'm going Raquel Rodriguez to win this chamber.
Yeah, and why is that?
To me, the only other person I think, you know, I could see winning this would be Tiffy, but I have Raquel winning because, and it's tough because after Monday Night Raw with the Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer segment, I thought it had a lot of juice and it was pretty good. Although it kind of made Jade appearance a bit underwhelming, but it kind of was a callback to the Elimination Chamber last year where Jade came in to attack Naomi, but it was kind of teased she was going to attack Liv. Liv kind of did the whole tease picking Jade and then hit Stephanie. And then two in that segment, I don't mean to get too caught off. It kind of bleeds into why I'm picking Raquel, but Liv. Picking Stephanie and then, hits the Oblivion. And I think Stephanie was still selling it, but she was kind of caught up in the ropes. Liv kicks her in the dick, like right in the penis. It was crazy. And I kind of felt like a real, well, I don't know
if it's in the penis.
Yeah, definitely not. I was just joking. But kind of like a kick into the groin area right after the Oblivion. And for me, it kind of looked like, oh, you're not going to sell my finisher. You're not going to go down to my finisher. Which maybe I'm wrong on that, but then she kicks her in the groin area and then throws the title on her, and the face that Stephanie had looked like, ow, that actually hurt type thing. So it's a little bit of extra juice to that rivalry. But the reason I'm picking Raquel is I think there's definitely a story there for Raquel to really capitalize on the momentum she's had and win this chamber as Big Mommy Cool. And instead of picking Jade, pick Liv Morgan. Pick Stephanie Vaquer and joining Liv Morgan into a triple threat match on Mania, which I say that, and I, as a big fan of Raquel, I love that idea. But I also think Liv Morgan and Stephanie could tear the house down too in a singles match. But to me, that
it's a lot of story to add.
Story to it, so I think it'd be really beautiful.
I agree.
What's your prediction, John?
I've seen that prediction from other people. I even made a video the other day about kind of just like the odds of like everyone winning or whatever, and I had that same thought of I think Raquel has she's not my pick, but she's number 2 for me. Where I think she has a very large option. So here's the thing. And I even said it in my video where I don't know if, and again, it's wrestling, nothing is set in stone, but I don't know as of now if it's set in stone of like, okay, this chamber win is for Jade's title opportunity. Which again, if it is or isn't,
I think they have said that, so that's kind
maybe
of
I haven't heard it personally, but it very well could have happened. But so to that credit though, I'm on the Wikipedia right now. It does say Elimination Chamber match for an undisputed WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 42. But I think you're right. And again, does it make it a little complicated? Sure, great. But there's got to be a loophole where, Raquel comes out, and this is how you mask it. You have it for Jade's title. You mask it. You have Raquel come out on Raw.
Big reveal.
And then Liv's all hyped. Like, I'm going to get the world title from Stephanie, and then you're going to get the world title from Jade, and then Judgment Day is going to be all good, and da-da-da. And then Raquel's like, right, that's great. But I'm not choosing Jade. The opportunity is for a world. I think there's a way to spin it where you can do this. I like that as much as I do like Raquel versus Jade. I think that's a fun match.
Sure, yeah.
But they just especially we are coming off of multiple times. At this point, it's like 3 or 4 times. So one, Liv eliminating Raquel in the Royal Rumble. Then you also had when the following weeks on Raw, Raquel was like she had I forget what it was, said some title match or whatever it was, and Raquel was like, don't come in. I don't want you interrupting. Liv Morgan came in, interrupted, cost Raquel. There's different...
The passive-aggressive behavior Liv showed when she
returned. A lot of banter,
100%.
of just like, there's a lot being built there. So like, it'd be kind of, I don't want to say a waste, but it'd be a little bit of just like, maybe drop the ball just like if you don't capitalize on this like story that you've been building between Raquel and Liv.
It kind of, when we talked it out loud, and it kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Batista thumbs down a bit on Triple H, and like think about the star that it created Batista from that. And it's funny you kind of have Stephanie kind of play like third wheel a bit, but she's still a massive star, and it's a big moment for her to be coming into Mania as champion.
And then you also have Roxy be in the middle of it.
She's hurt though.
Oh, is she hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she still maybe appear.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know how severe I didn't know she was hurt. I didn't know how severe the injury was. But if it's not too severe, maybe she can like appear in segments or whatever.
Of course.
And then if we're really getting down the rabbit hole here, because you have go back to Finn Balor of it all and the Judgment Day stuff. You have Finn versus Dom for the IC title. Then you have Raquel and Liv splitting up. Like this WrestleMania 42 could be the real destruction of either Judgment Day or this version of the Judgment Day, right? So there's a lot to do. However, with all that said, I see other writing on the wall as well in a Tiffany Stratton. I think her return at the Rumble was treated as a big deal. She was number 30 at the Rumble. Big return off injury. Former world champion.
Runner-up at the Rumble, too. That's always a big spot. With the cliche of, like, oftentimes the runner-up at the Rumble ends up in the title match anyway. So
she's someone that is a big star and a main event player, and one of these people who's new in a new generation and whatever. And to me, it seems, again, call it easy, call it a little lazier. I do like the Raquel stuff better, but I think Tiffany's gonna win here, go on to face Jade, and probably take the title off Jade at Mania and do a little. And I don't want to use the term reset, but a little bit just like, I don't know. And I think like the plan with Jade was probably going to be some sort of Bianca and or Naomi. And obviously like I saw like the picture of Bianca's finger, like post-surgery or whatever.
Really?
Absolutely crazy.
Oh, because I was going to try to allude that that might have been a work.
Like, no,
so all I seen was the picture of her in surgery in bed. And I'm like, it is kind of weird that you're getting surgery just now, but is it really bad?
It's a pretty gross and gruesome looking.
I did see a video of her trying to do like some kind of exercise, and she was in pain, man. It's hard to watch.
It's a crazy,
hope she's
it's
okay.
crazy unfortunate injury.
Yeah.
So I think like months ago, if you had a Bianca and or Naomi in mind for Jade, you got to pivot. You go back to the star you had before the injury in Tiffany. And then you kind of just do that. Again, I think it's the easy booking. I think it's not the most exciting booking. But I think there's a reason why Tiffany returned at 30. They're treating her return like a big deal. And it's kind of a reestablishing of Tiffany. And Tiffany Stratton versus Jade is a pretty big match to me. So it's kind of where I'm at.
Tiffy's too small. There's no chance she can beat Jade Cargill. No, I mean, I think she has before, actually. But
yeah, I think it's kind of,
not this version of Jade Cargill. And let me tell you, and it would make sense. It would be the third match of them, the world title match. So Tiffy Jade 3. It doesn't, for me too, Tiffy's in a weird spot where she is such a natural heel, but she's still presented as a babyface.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, but like I do agree she is kind of my second most likely to win this match and challenge Jade. I think it would be it's a solid, very aesthetically pleasing match of two young stars, but I don't know. I need something more juicy for Jade, and to me, there was some teases on SmackDown. Jade and Charlotte almost kissed at one point. That was crazy, the woos and the faces. And then to me, I don't see her winning it, but a massive WrestleMania match, in my opinion, is Rhea Ripley versus Jade, which to me would be box office, which like I would not hate if Rhea Ripley were to win this chamber.
Rhea Ripley's at like my 3. My thing though too is like if you look at everyone else, right? You have Rhea, Alexa, Asuka, Kiana. All involved or at least, with Kiana can be involved in the tag team stuff.
Yeah.
Again, and my hope is that we're getting a big women's tag team showcase. Obviously, Io and Rhea have the tag team titles. Io didn't qualify, and Charlotte didn't qualify. And
put you on the spot. Who would you have win that tag team showcase? I have a tag team in mind. I would have win that showcase.
Assuming it's Rhea and Io, Alexa, Charlotte,
kind of like every women's tag.
Probably team. Bella Twins, not to win it, but Bella Twins are going to be in it. Kiana and Julia may be in it, but they're not going to win. So
Bailey Lyra to win it at Mania.
That's fun. Yeah, Bailey Lyra.
They've been kind of chirping on Twitter for a long time with Adam Pearce. Like, give us a chance. I can see them getting a nod. Lash and Nia would be.
Unfortunately, could see the Bellas taking it.
Bailey, yeah, Mania moment, sure, yeah.
But they could go Alexa, Charlotte. Would the crowd boo if the Bellas win it?
I don't think so. I think it's a Mania crowd with the people spending that much money. Like those are kind of the typical, I think, people that wouldn't boo the Bellas. You know,
if the Bellas are in it, I would see Bellas.
Although they would be heel, so they might get actual.
That's true too. Yeah, so maybe it's just kind of worth it. I would say Bellas. Not that I want that, but.
They deserve a tag team title. As much grief I give Nikki Bella since returning, but
I think like Asuka and Kairi are gonna be on the outs, and we were talking about it on I think a Hot Takes video where like I hope Asuka Kairi have like a straight up 1-on-1. I think that would be sick. Rhea and Io have done what they've done for the tag division, but like I think it's time to see them in singles competition again. As well as you can say the same as Lexa and Charlotte, but yeah, I'm hoping for Kiana versus Julia at Mania for the U.S. title. Then Kiana takes that belt.
I that's the first I've thought about that. Absolutely. And hey, hats off to Julia. She had for me, it was first announced that it was going to be Julia versus Io Sky on SmackDown. They had a switcheroo because I was like, oh, this is a massive like little dream match for one, and then two, kind of a prove yourself match for Julia. Then they switch it last second to Rhea Ripley, which are like, wow, this completely changes the tone of the match in my opinion. Julia shined out though. She had a really good showing. I will say though, like this happened during commercial, but it went super viral. The kind of the curb stomp a little bit on Rhea.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's the golden goose, my friend. Don't damage the money maker.
Rhea's a sicko though. She loves that shit.
Yeah.
I think she was flaunting the fucking shiner, dude.
It was nice to see Julia work a style where she is like comfortable. For the first time for me watching Julia, I was like, there we go. SmackDown all in all for 14 women that were featured on the show. To me, all of them shined, and even so, Kiana James qualifying, that was a massive upset, and I did not see that coming. And I'm so happy she's in the chamber too.
I think similar to the Rumble, I think Kiana's gonna be the MVP of this chamber. You know, I
she's gonna show. She picked up Nia Jax like she was nothing.
Yeah,
and the crowd was just naturally chanting Kiana. To me though, definitely needs a change in theme song. That theme song stinks, and like this whole character needs to be fleshed out, like this lawyer type thing. Like I don't get the aesthetic of the helicopter and like what is she?
Yeah,
I like the bag though, and to me the bag signifies she's definitely gonna be Miss Money in the Bank at some point. But
be sick. Yeah, she's kind of like Julia's lawyer right now or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm officially going Tiffany. But yeah, I think it'll be. I think this will probably be match of the night. I'm excited for this match. It's gonna be crazy. Tiffany's gonna do a swanton, I think, off the pod is my guess. But yeah, all right, we can move on to close out the show. AJ Styles, man. I think we'd be pretty remiss if we didn't give AJ his flowers for the end of the show here. AJ Styles had his retirement moment in Atlanta, which kind of, there's like, I don't know, we could get into all the behind the scenes stuff and like, there's been different conversations and like, oh, well, the real reason he didn't lay his gloves down at Saturday Night's Main Event because there was contract stuff and maybe they didn't know if he was resigning and maybe they thought he was going to go somewhere else. And then now he's, okay, maybe they really want to do it in Atlanta. And there's so much speculation behind the scenes. There's also now basically confirmed of like, everyone, including me, and I'm doing it more like a half like fun way, but like, AJ Styles going to like an AEW. I think there was like a recent podcast or interview, whatever it was, where AJ was like, no, like my in-ring is done. I want to transition to like a backstage sort of agent role. I think people were saying NXT, which like Sean and AJ running NXT is fucking sick. But yeah, obviously not that this is what it needs to be about, but like, we've been kind of crossing our fingers for maybe like an AEW run. All that is coming out of, it's not, I don't believe any of it was like, no, we want to see him in AEW. Then we want to see.
I don't think we need to put the hand up for wanting AJ to continue his career. I don't think we need to, be like, oh, we were wrong. Like,
well, that's my point. Is like it was all out of like, no, AJ, I want to see you still wrestle. Which I do think a lot of people had that same sentiment and like saw that too. But really, really beautiful send off. I thought. What'd you think of it?
The speech was really, really nice. I didn't see that coming, and I think AJ too was just really funny. I had started off with the whole like, I was gonna wear a suit, but the last time I did that,
so good,
whatever.
So good.
It was truly a beautiful send off, and I think too, like, hand up for just noticing things because he did not take his gloves off in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble, and to me that really signified like, oh, there is a chance he might be working someplace else. To me though, then when he on Raw was kind of like, And I feel like he wanted to paraphrase it, be like, I want to do it in the States. He wanted to be a real Americana about it, in my opinion, knowing AJ. But he was like, no, I wanted to do it at home in Atlanta, Georgia, which I thought was a beautiful and it honestly totally just makes sense.
His family in the crowd, him talking about like, him like thanking his wife for like, a wrestler isn't home that much, especially like, the back in the day schedule, so he's like, I want to be a father. I want to, I don't know.
And they really recruited like everyone from his past. They had the monster Abyss,
Abyss, Frankie opening the fucking boiler room or whatever it was, and Abyss there with his mask and shit.
They even somehow contacted Air Paris, who was his WCW partner, who like retired right after that. And like, it was kind of a beautiful thing where like, I guess AJ has said that he actually wishes he lived Paris's life because Paris was at home being a father. Post his WCW career, where Styles was on the road for most of his life, the last 25 years. So it's kind of a that's a deep thing there. But man, at the end of the day, for me personally, AJ Styles, top 3 all time in ring performer. Definitely like taking back about just the amount of love and support. And I think just the Hall of Fame is what it is, but first ballot Hall of Famer and someone super deserving of the Hall of Fame.
Really, really like the moment of like that. I mean, I'm a sucker for the gong and that fucking gong hit and like what's going on, bro. When Undertaker, the way Undertaker was talking, I thought we were getting a Mania match. I was like, no shot.
And I'm such an internet mark. Way. And I remember hearing rumors of like Taker has been like kind of vocal of like, I could go for one more match, and like, would it make sense for him to be like, I know Gunther retired you, but like, I want one more retirement. I did in my head be like, oh my God, Taker's going to challenge him to a match at WrestleMania. But him being the WWE version of David Baker, who David Baker was kind of like, I'm not sure if you've ever seen him, but he was an NFL Hall of Fame guy. He's like this massive, massive man. And he oftentimes would pull up to like NFL players that were getting to the Hall of Fame's houses, and like they would film it. And then anytime you'd see David Baker, you'd be like, start crying because like, you're going to the Hall of Fame, and like it was like now the Undertaker is the David Baker of WWE, which I think is really cool.
I think it's cool too. And like him, it's like he had a very, very sentimental moment with AJ, and they hugged and shared a couple words. And like to me, it seemed like similar to how he, announced it to Stephanie. It seemed like AJ didn't expect it, didn't know it, and then AJ, he kind of led up to it, and AJ was like, "No shit, no," and like, boom, Hall of Fame induction. I think a lot of people were looking at like, obviously Stephanie was like the biggest name going in, but like Cena was like a big like what if, which like I'm still very curious. I don't know. I mean, I'd imagine it must be happening next year. I'm shocked it's not this year, but I'm glad that we're getting AJ,
for sure.
John's also a humble guy, so I was putting words in people's mouths, but I could fully see him being like, give it to AJ this year. You know what I mean? Like, give it to AJ this year. So I don't know. But yeah, I really love it. I love that it caught him off guard and he had that moment, put the gloves down. Everyone then coming into the ring, Shinsuke snapping some photos.
Of course.
Really, really, really good stuff.
The Creed.
Hell of a career.
We had Creed.
The Consequences Creed.
That's a great shout. The band.
Yeah. That shit rocked.
Xavier Woods, though. Yeah, that's a fire. That's a crazy Creed, though.
Yes,
higher.
Dude. So good.
I got a little emotional seeing that.
I was like, yes. Yes, we're
so back.
Oh, man. Just a beautiful, beautiful and well-deserved send-off. Man, hell of a career. Obviously, we can all I've been doing my hope he goes to AEW and like, but like, my obvious sentiment is like, good for him. I hope he can, he's earned it. It hasn't been named like a John Cena, like someone who's just fucking earned it, man. And like crazy, like 10 years in WWE, and I would argue like, and this is gonna sound negative, but like past his prime, like he entered WWE past his prime. He still put on killer all-time matches, but that wasn't his like. He wasn't the young TNA guy. And great, maybe he did do his like New Japan stuff, whatever. But like, did come to WWE in like the last 10 years of his career.
Yeah, and
still had such an impact. And incredible stuff. Really, really good. So I don't know. Any last and any other. AJ,
just kind of just an amazing thing because even like when he did come into the company in 2016, he is battling an uphill stream of being a TNA guy, being a small guy, being someone that for years had a rep of like, he is phenomenal in-ring worker, but he would never shine in the WWE system. and he took those expectations and shoved them down people's throats. And he, to me, again, I will say, in-ring competitor, top 3 of all time. I think Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles, Angle, or Guerrero. Like, that's, to me, I think, the top 3 in-ring performers. And I think that's a beautiful thing for AJ Styles, man.
Hell yeah. All right. I think we're about to close the show. Is there anything else? I know we kind of, this is mainly prediction stuff. But is there anything pressing you wanted to get to? I don't know if there's any AEW stuff.
I will say, because we got because of the scheduling right now, and it would have been my match of the week if we recorded Tuesday, but the Kenny Omega Swerve match we never touched upon. But again, this is very much old news now. Last night was pretty good.
Wait, was that not my? I thought that was my match of the week for the week prior.
Because this is the scheduling. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kenny happened. Yeah, a couple of ago.
Hand up. That's on me. I thought maybe. Yeah.
I'm with you though.
Death match confirmed for Revolution. That's massive.
What a fun segment! We saw it. Max is Max. We saw it from a million miles away. But I fucking love the flipping the coin and just walks away with it. He's like, "Give me that coin." Ended up being a double-sided. Boom! Texas Death Match at Revolution.
Massive.
Love it.
Can't wait.
I think MJF retains. If I'm doing an early prediction, I think MJF retains.
Here's the beautiful thing about, there's been some criticism about how they're doing it and whatever, and some confusion, whatever. I will say, going into it naturally, I'd be like, oh, MJF's for sure going to retain. But adding the stipulation of Hangman loses, he can't challenge for the world title.
I forgot about that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it's Hangman's, kind of particular match type, death match, really adds an element of Hangman very well could win that match.
I don't really want to see Hangman as the champ now.
No chance. But the fact that they were skilled enough booking-wise to make me kind of doubt when MJF win, I think is huge and makes me really excited for that match.
But does he...
How's MJF going to win that match, man?
But also, does Hangman lose? Is he never going to... I don't know. I think MJF should win that match.
I think so, too.
I
think he does, but
is Hangman really gonna never challenge for that title ever again?
Here's my thing with the Cody rule, because famously Cody Rhodes also did this too. Go back on the rule eventually. It's fucking wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
Be a heel
or have a match where you can earn the rule to get whatever.
I'm talking
I don't know.
Years down the road if you want to do that. But there's also many titles in AEW for Hangman to win and go for. So it really adds a huge element of what the hell they're going to do for that match, which I think is great. Intrigue is supposed to happen at pay-per-view. Also announced, I don't think it was announced, but likely for that pay-per-view, Brodito and Andrade.
Fire.
It's going to be a crazy match.
Fire.
Also, unfortunately, last night, crazy that this happened in the same week as the Bronson Reed thing. Penelope Ford got injured during the women's tag title match. They were supposed to win. It would have been a huge moment for one of my favorites, Megan Bain, but injuries happened. It really reminds you about this real life element.
They did the call off with what's her name running in doing the DQ or whatever. Oh, what's her name? I forget.
She's Cross, Lena Cross.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's super unfortunate. I think Penelope just got healthy too, which is such a shame.
That sucks.
But shout out them. Hopefully they'll figure that out. Maybe Cross and Bane can challenge for the titles next.
Yeah.
And then two. Sorry for the what's their combined name? The Solruka Zarya.
Oh yeah,
Soul Zarya, Zaruka.
Zaruka, right? Yeah. Why am I blanking on that?
It's been a long podcast. Zaruka broke up last night on Tuesday. Crazy.
I mean, finally.
Yeah.
And also, I think to me that's I like how they did it. I like that it was the championship match. Zarya just a spear. 1, 2, 3. Now Zarya next week is gonna get the championship match.
Which how does that work?
But
wrestling, yeah.
But and to me, this is Soul call up. Sure, you can do a feud in NXT of Soul and Zarya, but to me, that is spearing Soul out of NXT.
Really?
I think it has to be.
I think they got a feud.
They can, but I think Soul is so over, and I think you just need to capitalize and get Soul on you should have had Soul on the main roster yesterday. So to me, this is a NXT way of doing it, of sending someone out and sending someone.
Interesting. I didn't. Oh, okay.
Which fully, it kind of even goes to the there was another thing that there's another NXT championship thing where they kind of leapfrogged it. I mean, even Javon, or the Javon and Oba. We never got that big they did have a feud, but we never got that Javon Evans title win in NXT. To me, I think you do the same with Soul. However, it does make a lot of sense to have, like, let's say Zarya beats JC Jane for the title.
Maybe.
Have a world title feud between Sol and Zarya. Like, it's great. It's perfect. But I also see a lot of benefit of just having, you can return to that, do that down the line. But I think the main roster is clamoring for Sol Ruka.
Definitely SmackDown can use her. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. They need some beef into the mid card division and more challengers for Jade. But I personally would like to see maybe an NXT title feud between Zarya and Sol Ruka a little bit.
But do you have, because if you have Sol win that, then she's the NXT champion. At that point, we're looking at like almost a year of Sol not being called up. Maybe not a year.
I think she definitely, NXT is a fun watch, man. I think she needs to be for a bit like the front runner of that brand. In a kayfabe standpoint of like being the champion for a bit and learning how to be a quote unquote world champion for a bit, and then I think the storyline between Zarya has earned a kind of fleshed out rivalry on NXT. Some other big NXT title changes last night.
Yeah, Miles Bourne got it. Yeah, that's cool.
I think it was a really good match too. Kind of like a Bloodline Rules type match with all the interference. But Ethan Page, to me, definitely goes down as one of the best North American champions of all time. And I think he's for sure going to be probably knocking on Paul Heyman's door on the Vision soon.
I mean, at that point, they might, you kind of need anyone, right? At that point, you get Sol Ruka in the Vision.
Oh, man, I would love that. Elio Lafur, I'm a big fan of. I'm butchering his name, but he's very exciting. He won the Speed Championship. I know, Speed Championship, but like he shined, and then the Vanity Project won the tag team.
Yeah, dude. New England Zone, Vanity
Really?
Well, they're maybe not New England Zone, but like I don't know where they're from, but they
came up in the New England.
I've seen them a few times on the Indies.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah, honestly, kind of like I think me and Ricky Smoke. Yeah, I think me and Smokes chatted a little bit.
Had a beer.
Nah, but like
Had smoke.
Yeah, I think he's a friend of the show.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Ricky Smokes.
Yeah, I think he said so. I don't know.
I could see myself in the Vanity Project a little bit. If I.
Okay, or just add yourself into it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, screw yeah. But yes, that's cool. What else? I had something. Oh, who got pinned in the women's speed tournament? Fuck. It was someone.
Blake Monroe.
Yeah,
she lost.
Dude. What are we doing, Blake?
Yeah, it's tough. Man.
Oh, Mariah May, we miss you.
Yeah, I even jokingly said play that clip from the Tony Storm promo. I know it's kind of cliche at this point, but that's a tough loss. Like
the speed championship.
I disagreed with the pushback of like, why is Blake Monroe in the tournament? But then the fact that she's gonna lose also. Man, that's a tough showing for Blake Monroe. I'm not giving up on Blake whatsoever, but what are we doing though?
Yeah. See, I would rather again as storylines, but have Sol get called up and then have Blake run NXT.
True.
It's kind of where I'm looking at. 'Cause I just think you have the opportunity to do what you're doing. Well, I definitely don't disagree that I think Javon should have won the NXT title, and I would say that Sol Ruka should win the NXT title. But I think you also just look at what do we capitalize? What can we capitalize on right now and have the Javon effect? Because Javon's in the chamber, you know what I mean? So you can get stuff like that. I mean, Sol's already had massive spots, but
should beat Bailey, yeah. I did hear a rumor too, though, or I saw a report, I should say. She's might be getting new theme music.
Sol,
yeah.
A whole gimmick change too.
Might be a whole gimmick. Maybe it could be a sad girl type thing, emo type thing, just because she's been heartbreaking.
I like the It's not a problem with. A lot of people are saying the surfer gimmick, the whatever. I don't think they should not change her character. I love
theme
her
song. Maybe it's kind of like a little Rocket Power-ish.
Theme song. I couldn't even tell you what it sounds like.
It's like Calabunga. Ding,
yeah,
ding,
sure.
ding,
Change the
ding,
theme, make it a little cooler.
Yeah,
but I love my assistant manager at Zoomies. You know what I mean?
True.
If they here's the thing, if they take her out of the skate highs, those Vans she wears. Aura gets that's her whole thing. She wrestles in Vans. It's cool as hell.
I hear that.
I don't know. All right, I think that's the show. Again, it's kind of mainly just predictions heavy, but we back to post Elimination Chamber, just weekly coverage and news and what have you. But again, a couple things before we let you go. The SCW Prediction Championship will be on the line this Saturday on stream, Jimmy and I, around like, I guess the show starts at 7 p.m. So like around there, you'll see stuff on the channel. And you, if you're in the chat, will be competing for the Prediction Championship as well. Check out our Patreon. We're about to jump over there right now and have a little chat about random other things and take your questions and blah, blah. It's a good time over there. Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. What else? Follow us on everything. Oh, we'll do it. You already alluded to it, but let's do a quick wrestler match of the week, and then we'll say a word or phrase that we never come prepared with. That I
No.
never think of it.
That's
but
tough.
Remind me of what your match was, and then give me your wrestler, and I'll think of mine.
Match of the week was that triple threat match, qualifying match. It was
Nice.
Damian Priest versus Trick Williams versus Mello. Right winner, highly competitive, and I think Trick versus Mello are the cornerstones of this company for many years. My rest of the week goes to Miss Kiana James. A nice upset win at the Chamber. Really shined, and again, I see massive babyface potential for her. Though I don't see her winning the Chamber, she will for sure, in my opinion, be the MVP of that Chamber.
I think I don't have, honestly, like coming in this week, I didn't really have like a firm, like this is it, but I had a lot of fun with the big tag match to end Dynamite last night. So I'm going to go with that. A lot of fun table spots, a lot of, really sold me more on the Rascals. I think they had a great showing. It's just a fun, like, you know, Bucks, Perry sort of continuing that sort of story stuff. So I'm going with that, my match of the week. And then my rest of the week, I mean, like, I could give it to AJ, but like we already had the retirement. I think we did that at Sundance Main Event.
Yeah.
So I won't give it to AJ. Damn, I didn't really think of who my wrestler of the week should be. Give me. Let me think. How about? Man, I'm on the spot. I should have thought of this.
Like Javon was a good one for you.
Yeah. What was that? Yeah, Javon had a fun. All right, give me. Hold on. I can do this. Give me. What happened this week? We just talked about it.
There's only 3 matches on Raw.
I'm gonna go. What happened on Dynamite? I didn't have this prepared. Give me. Oh shit! Come on. Give me AJ Styles.
Nice.
Give me
Let's
AJ
go.
Styles.
I mean, it's the last time you can do it. So.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting hot. I think we're having a hot flash. Okay. Folks, that's... Oh, and then word or phrase. How about something related to the Chamber?
I was going to go Lingardian Leviosa, but that's kind of hard to
I
spell,
don't know how to spell
too.
that.
Yeah.
How about... Hold on. I'm getting close to something. Hold on. Just a couple... I don't want it to be too long, but a pod, maybe pod in a... Something with like the pods, like the Chamber is in a pod. Like they have the pods, and this is also a pod. You know what I mean? There's something there. There's some sort of pod. You know what I mean? Two peas in a pod. 2 peas in an elimination chamber pod. 2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod. Keep it. 2 peas in a pod. Folks, thanks for being here. We appreciate it as always. Check out our socials, all that stuff. I already did the plugs. See you on the Patreon. Jimmy, I'll see you over on the Patreon. And good luck defending that Predictions Championship. I'll see you on the stream.
Don't need it. Stay curious.
Okay, the Supreme Coffin is $3,800.
Alyssa Liu? Is that the...
Bro,
am I saying that right? What story?
I think it's Liu.
Okay.
But Alyssa Liu, dog, fucking goat.
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all these places that freaking are affordable show no love to plus size men. It's ridiculous. So I go to these places, I'm like, oh, I wear this and it doesn't fit me.
If WWE were to start doing a Hall of Fame, who would be the first 3 inductees?
AW?
Good question. AW.
Okay.
Ray, I listened to the podcast episode.
Yeah, I was wondering
I don't really listen to Cody's podcast that much, but Ray's I listen to, and like